New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring. Join our prayer broadcast every day at 8:15 a.m. and 8:15 p.m. Mountain Time. Send us your prayer requests or schedule a private prayer session at ntmedia.org/prayer. And now, it's time to pray together.
Hello, folks. Welcome to morning prayer for Thursday, February 5th, 2026. My name is Muro. I'm a prayer practitioner here on the New Thought Media Network, and I am honored and delighted to be able to spend time with you in prayer. Glorious, glorious way to affirm our truth. And that's what we're about here. We're not about begging and beseeching. We're about affirming. We're about recognizing and knowing and being able to take that deep feeling, that deep faith, and bring it out into our lives. So, if there is anything that you would like prayer for, please remember that you have the opportunity to send a prayer request here at www.ntmedia.org/prayer. We have a family of ministers who are part of our New Thought Ministry of Prayer, and they are delighted to hold your intention, as am I, because I am a member of that team. All right, so this is what I wanted to share with you today. This is from Guidance for a Spiritual Journey by Daniel Lee Morgan, Reverend Dr. Daniel Lee Morgan. He wrote, "The spirit of good is flowing through us at all times. But to get the good in manifestation, to experience it, we must complete the circuit. To be supplied from the source, we must stay on the line. We must keep our thoughts on God." You know, I like the way he uses the spirit of good when we often would say the spirit of God. And let's face it, good and God, one and the same. One and the same. So how is it that we are going to experience in our life all the things that are part of our birthright? Well, it doesn't happen simply because it is our birthright. It happens because we choose it. It happens because we bring it forward. So think about ways in which you want to see that manifestation of good in your life, how you want to truly experience it. And think of what it is that is within you that you can bring forward. Think about all the opportunities that you have to complete the circuit. So let's take this into prayer. Whatever it is that you are looking to manifest, whatever it is that you are looking to experience, envision this in your mind. Let's take this into prayer. Close our eyes, soften our gaze. If it is comfortable and safe to do so, take a deep breath. And just allow that ease to come to the body, to come to the mind, to come to the spirit. Allowing us to be present in this moment. Whenever I think of the importance of my being able to take what is within and bring it throughout who I am, I know that I want to start with an awareness. I want to start with an awareness of who and whose I am. And so I start with the foundational truth that I am the beloved of the beloved. And as that is true for me, I know that that is true for each and every one of us, without exception. And so I recognize that I have this birthright within that provides so much, because God, Gaia, Allah, the universe, that one power, that thing itself, lives within and throughout all existence. That it is indeed the supply, the source of all of that goodness. And so just as I can look at an ocean and I can see the water there, or I look at a reservoir and I can see the water, I look at a lake and I can see that water is there. But unless I go to it, unless I take some of it, while it is there, it is not doing anything to irrigate or to provide energy or to provide hydration. I need to act. I need to take something into my own hands so that I can make use of what has been provided. And just as I can walk up to a reservoir and I can take a thimble and I can dip a thimble and I can get a thimble's worth, so too can I take a bucket and get a bucket's worth. And that is my goal. My goal is to always look for that ever-increasing capacity, not the ever-increasing capacity of God, but of myself, being able to allow more and more to come through me, allowing myself to accept the possibility of that greatness, the possibility of that abundance, to recognize that all of that is always present. It's always within me. But I choose to use that. And so by recognizing, acknowledging, by knowing, and that deep feeling, that not simply an intellectual knowing, but a deep feeling knowing of all the abundance that does exist, of all of the goodness that exists, of the love that exists within me, because of who and whose I am, I get to choose how much of that I want to work with. I get to choose how much of that I want to be able to bring to each and every action and interaction and relationship. I get to choose. And it's truly a flow of energy. And for something to flow, there needs to be this circuit. There needs to be this movement forward and this receiving and this giving and back and forth. We can't open a circuit without making the connections. And once we make those connections and we open that circuit, then the energy can flow. And so as I go through my day, my goal today, my guiding instinct for today is to recognize the importance of my focusing on that goodness. If I am looking for abundance, then I look from a place of abundance. I look from a place of gratitude for all that I do have, recognizing that there is so much more And the more that I open to that, the more that I hold that thought of abundance, the more that I hold that belief in that abundance, the more likely it is that I will see it, that I will see opportunities for it, that I will see the manifestation of it. And I can take that with any aspect of what it is that I am looking to manifest. As I hold in my mind the mental equivalent of what it is that is so important, recognizing that beneath whatever the physical representation is, there is a spiritual representation as well, or a spiritual truth, if you will. I go back to the foundational understanding that having been created by perfection itself, that I am within my divine self perfect. I am whole. I am complete. Nothing is lacking. And so being able to take all that I am, not only into my actions, but into my thoughts as well, holding on to that understanding that the more that I hold that mental equivalent, the more attention I put to that, as opposed to a sense of lack or a sense of doubt or a sense of fear, the more that I hold on to that positivity, the more likely I am to raise the energy that I need. And I'm not saying that I ignore things. I'm not saying that this is wishful thinking. I'm not saying this is magical thinking. Because as I'm holding on to these ideas, I am also looking within to ask, what is it for me to do? What is mine to do in this situation, this moment, this circumstance? Looking for that clarity, being able to take that clear intention and hold it and nurture it, just as I would plant a seed. And while I know that the soil is willing to accept whatever that seed is, I also know that as I ensure that it gets sunlight, as I ensure that it is watered, as I ensure that the soil itself is maintained, I know the strength of what grows will multiply. And so that is my prayer for today, that I allow myself to grow those seeds of goodness, keeping my full attention on that, not on the lack, not on the doubt, not on the uncertainty, but on the absolute knowledge of the goodness that exists. And so with that as my intention for today, I release this word to the law which always says yes, just as the soil always accepts the seed. And I know that God's grace shines upon me as it does upon each and every one of us. And so I can release this word to the law which says yes, yes, yes. And so it is. To be supplied from the source, we must stay on the line. All right, folks. So that is what we have an opportunity to do today. I will invite you to always remember the importance of recognizing that you are loved and recognizing that you are loved. And I want to just mention one thing here, if I may. we here at the New Thought Ministry of Prayer have another way that you can make an offering to us, a donation, to help us keep the ministry moving forward, to keep the ministry growing. Right? This QR code that you'll see here, if you train your camera on that, you'll be able to make a donation directly to the efforts of the New Thought. Excuse me, the New Thought Ministry of Prayer. Whatever you can do would be greatly appreciated. All right. So, as I said, remember that you are loved and you are love. I will see you soon. Namaste.
On behalf of everyone at New Thought Media Network, thank you for being a member of our virtual family. Your financial contributions help share the New Thought message with people from around the world. Please visit and contribute at www.ntmedia.org/donate. New Thought Media Network, come be you. And please like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, peace and blessings. On behalf of the New Thought Media Network, thank you for being with us for this special prayer broadcast. We look forward to being with you again soon, 8:15 a.m. or 8:15 p.m. Mountain Time. Until then.